हेलो एंड आप सभी को सुष्मिता का प्यार भरा नमस्ते। वेलकम बैक टू द न्यू एपिसोड ऑफ थ्राइव विद सुष्मिता। टुडे वी विल बी लर्निंग एंड डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द सेंटेंस. Now in English language or in any language for that matter, sentences play a very important role. How? Because sentences are the form in which we communicate with each other, right? So understanding sentences is very important. Like if something is being told to you, how will you understand unless and until I put it in a sentence to you? I mean, of course, I might, like if I want to call somebody, I might say, but can I communicate everything with actions? No, it is not possible. So that is why it is important for easy communication, we learn sentences in English, right? So understanding the sentence, with this we at least know and understand that it's a group of words, right? Sentences are always a group of words which gives you some meaning, right? The words cannot be meaningless. For example, it cannot be you and gave, he. These are all words. Individually they have their own meaning. But when I am putting it in the form of a sentence, it is meaningless. It is not giving you any meaning. It gives no sense, right? So what is a sentence basically? Sentence is a group of words which gives you complete meaning or which gives you a complete sense. For example, if I tell you, Ram is eating an ice cream. You scream ice cream, we all scream for ice cream, okay? So Ram is eating an ice cream. The sentence is Ram is eating an ice cream. So with this, you have been able to understand Ram is a boy. What is Ram doing? Is it eating? What is he eating? An ice cream. So it's giving you some sense. आपको कुछ समझ आ रहा है इससे? Ram is eating a sentence. एक sentence आपको complete information दे रहा है, right? It is adding meaning. It is giving. But if I just say Ram is ice cream, does it make any sense? Is Ram whole standing like this and becoming an ice cream? No. So it is not giving you any sense. So basically, to understand this, we just have to remember that sentence is nothing but a group of words that makes complete sense. Alright? Now, there are certain rules that we remember. A sentence will always begin with a capital letter. A sentence will always begin with a capital letter. Number 2, if there are any proper nouns, see, now my children know proper nouns, so it will be easy for you to understand, right? So, any proper noun in a sentence will also be written with capital letter. This was the rule that we had read when we were discussing about proper nouns, right? So, proper noun, if any present, whether it is in the beginning of a sentence or middle of the sentence, proper noun will always be in, like the beginning of it will be in capital letter, right? Next, it will always end with a full stop. We have to make sure that a sentence always ends with a full stop or a question mark if it is a question. If it is a question like how are you? So I am asking, I am posing a question to you, right? So how are you is a question, so it will end with a question mark. But if I say I am well, I am fine, I am doing good. So this is a sentence. I will be written in capital letter and it will end with a full stop. So these are the 3 things we need to remember. A sentence will always begin with a capital letter. Proper noun, if any, whether it is in the beginning of a sentence or at the end of a sentence or in the middle of the sentence, the first letter of the proper noun will be a capital letter, not the entire proper noun. The first letter, the first letter of the proper noun, okay? And a sentence always ends with a full stop if it is a sentence, or a question mark if it is a question. Alright? So these we have to remember when we are studying about the sentence. Okay? Now based on this, we will be covering the topic punctuation today. Okay? We will be covering the topic punctuation today. So under sentences, we have some punctuation rules. Now what is punctuation rules? Punctuation rules means the rules which will make us help the understand, or which will, bring the sentence in the correct format. Okay. So when I was telling you about the rules of the sentence, I also discussed few pointers on punctuation. What were they? Number 1, the sentence begins with a capital letter. Ram is a good boy. Ram is a good boy. So it began with a capital letter. Now the sentence ends with a full stop. So I covered the second rule. The next rule says it ends like with question mark. So if I ask you, how are you doing? So this is a question. So it will end with a question mark. It will end with a question mark. Proper nouns, if any. Proper nouns, if any, will also be written in capital. For example, if I give you an example, let's say, okay, let's first discuss this. Kolkata, Delhi, or maybe if I write it like this, how does it sound? Okay, I have been to Delhi and Kolkata. Okay, so if you see the D, Delhi is a proper noun, so D is in capital letter and Kolkata capital letter, right? Even if it is coming in the mid of a sentence, right? It is coming in the mid of a sentence, but it's a proper noun. So what we did is we wrote it with the capital letter. Okay. So this was the third rule. First is full stop, question mark, capital letter, proper noun. So these are the rules that we read. There is also a rule about comma. For example, I had bread, butter, cheese and fruits for my breakfast. So these are the things that I ate. So butter, bread, butter, cheese and fruits. So what we have to do is we have to separate it with a comma. So I had bread, comma, butter, comma, cheese, but we do not put a comma just before and. So I had bread, we separated with a comma, butter, we separated it with a comma, cheese and fruits for my breakfast. Okay, so we read about some punctuation rules in the sentence, like how are the punctuation rules applied to the sentence. To take a quick recap of the entire thing that we did today. What is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words that gives you some meaning or makes complete sense to you. We have to remember that a sentence will always begin with a capital letter. A sentence will always end with a full stop. Okay. Again, the third one, if it is a question, if the sentence is in the form of a question, we will be ending it with a question mark. For example, what is your name? So I am posing a question to you, right? So we end this question sentences with a question mark. Okay. If there are any proper nouns in a sentence, whether in the beginning, in the middle of the sentence or at the end of the sentence, a proper noun will also be beginning with a capital letter, right? We discussed one example on that. Also, if we talk about for few more nouns, like one or more nouns in a sentence, we separate them with a comma. We can also go through one example for this. For example, Ram, Riya, Meeta and Priya are best friends. So see, one or more, more than one noun. Ram, Riya, Meeta. So we separate them with a comma. Ram, Riya, Meeta and Riya are best friends. There is one more rule which talks about exclamation mark. What do you mean by exclamation mark? Exclamation mark looks something like this. Basically, it denotes or shows a strong emotion. An exclamatory sentence always ends with an exclamation mark. Now, what do you mean by this strong emotion? This emotion can be of happiness, of surprise, of anger, of sadness. So, any sentence which is showing any of these sentences, we end that sentence with an exclamation mark. For example, hooray, we won the match. Hooray, we won the World Cup. So this is like hooray is showing a strong emotion of excitement. So in that case, this sentence ends with an exclamation mark. Alas, the poor dog is dead, right? So alas is showing an extreme sadness, right? Wow, what a beautiful dress. So here it is depicting about the happiness or the strong excitement in seeing a beautiful dress. So if there is a sentence which depicts a strong emotion, we end it with an exclamation mark. We call this as exclamation mark. So full stop, question mark, exclamation mark and comma. So when you are solving some sentences, or maybe when you are punctuating some sentences, you need to remember all these rules while solving. So what you do is, you remember, okay, yes, the first one, the sentence is starting with a capital letter. If not, we have to write the beginning letter of the sentence in capital letter. Then you need to check whether the sentence is a normal sentence or is it a question. If it is a question, please end it with a, come on, say it, question mark. If the sentence shows you an excitement, a strong emotion of happiness, sadness, anger, we will end it with an exclamation. So the fourth thing that you will check in the sentence is about the proper noun. If we are using proper nouns in a sentence, you have to make sure that the proper noun in the sentence begins with a capital letter. Whether the proper noun is in the beginning, in the middle or at the end of the sentence. Okay. The fifth one and the last one, which was about commas, you need to separate the nouns, whether it is proper or common nouns with comma. I have a pencil, pen, eraser and a ruler in my pencil box. Okay. So what I need to do is, I will be separating pen, comma, pencil, comma, ruler. Now remember, there will be no comma before the joining word and. Okay. So these are the 5 things you really need to check when you are punctuating a sentence. So in this class, we read about what is a sentence, what is the importance of a sentence, and what are the rules that we need to remember when we are writing a sentence. This is part 1 of the sentence that we did today. We will be doing part 2 tomorrow, where we will study about different types of sentences. Till then, you take care and we will meet you soon again. Thank you so much.